When you look at Avia Solutions Group, you started the business 20 years ago, and relatively back then it was a much smaller fleet. Today you're sitting with 220 aircraft, significantly quite larger. 2030, you've got your eye on 700 aircraft as well. Now, something you speak about quite consistently is the group's equity story. Today, what's your elevator pitch in describing the whole of Avia Solutions Group as a business?
So answering to the first part of the question, yeah, we started the business 20 years ago as an outsourced service provider to the airline companies, basically in main streams of their spendings. Would it be maintenance or training or ground handling? But it was just the beginning and basic of our group. Today, elevator speech is very common. Global 7 continents, 6 continents, if we carve out Antarctica, it's very much impacted by the seasonality. Europe, biggest market in the world, is 1.2 billion passengers out of 4.9. It's very much locked in one continent, and within 6 hours flight, there is nowhere to fly to catch the sun. So that's why people planning their holidays in summertime. So all European narrow-bodies airline companies losing money in wintertime because we have excess capacity, and we're earning extra money in summertime. So in other words, we need 40% more capacity in summertime than in wintertime. But if you look globally, other 5 continents, we have slightly different peaks, and in many cases we call it countercyclical. It's shorter, 3-4 months, in some cases 5-6 months. And those countries never ever were thinking about opportunity to add more seats for their clients, keeping the same ticket price and earning more revenues during their peak seasons because of the several main entry barriers and circumstances which for many years was in this ecosystem.
I want to still stay at the origins and at the beginning here, because something you also do mention is that you stumbled into ACMI unknowingly, but in hindsight, it's become a multi-billion-dollar revenue business. What aspects about that or about ACMI back then confirmed to you that, okay, this is the right decision for the group to go in?
20 years ago, we were thinking and silently talking about what would be the future scheduled airline company. And actually, in my one of the first interviews, I said that, after 20 years, airline company would be brand and selling platforms and network, and everything else you can outsource. By that time, 20 years ago, we were not so advanced and skillful leveraging fleet between different continents. But there were full charter services, tour operator or online platform could outsource full flight, selling tickets. So currently we came to the stage that traditional scheduled airline companies, first of all, can rightly manage their capacity, reducing and increasing number of the seats depending on the peaks, and still we're in the same edge. There is a opportunity to outsource everything. And very important, our beginning of the group plays very huge role in the Avia Solutions Group, because flying with 220 aircraft, it's impossible without backing of the strong maintenance company. It's impossible without backing of the strong training organization, without participating in the pilot training ecosystem, without supplying different other fields and services. So actually, we have plenty of smaller companies in our ecosystem. We call them our partners because we are participating and helping to educate customers as well about outsourcing during the peak. But for them, it's very complicated to grow because we don't have sizable support infrastructure from where we started our business 20 years ago.
If you could go back with what you know now, would you do something differently?
I think if we look to the best examples in the world of the leading companies, I think more or less we passed similar legacy. We did mistakes. We were learning by doing. We were searching for their own model. And when smart people with the initiative, with the ambitious running businesses, and I called the Avia Solutions team one of the youngest team in the aviation ecosystem, aerospace ecosystem. So we are still driven by the ambitious. We are owners of this company, all management owners of the company, and I think we are on the right way. And you mentioned 700 aircraft. This is a half of addressable market. This is actually number which came out from our ambitious to remain leading ACMI company in the world, drive demand, because demand is driven by the supply, by the education of our customers, by the education of the aviation authorities, and our goal is quite sustainable. Just half of the today addressable market, which is growing with every year fleet growth.